Few, if any, video game franchises in history have seen as long and consistent success as the Super Mario franchise. With so many games falling under many different genres, few stones have been left unturned. But that hasn't stopped the fan base from inserting theories of their own, based on the information presented throughout the series. Out of some of the more prominent theories floating around, which hold the most water and which crumble faster than Bowser's Bridge. Hey guys, I'm Brad with One Up Binge, and these are Super Mario theories ranked BS to truth bombs. First are the theories that have been debunked. They either have so many holes that they can't possibly be true, they lack evidence, or they've been confirmed false by creators. These theories are bull. Super Mario Bros. Contains communist propaganda. That's right, we're starting this list with one of the rumors that's almost as classic as the game. A lot of people apparently thought that the original Super Mario Bros. Game contained subtle references to promote communism. This included dressing Mario in red and making him a plumber, a subtle nod to the Red Army and its emphasis on the working class. On top of that, at the end of each level, Mario switches out the flag of what appears to be a peace sign with a red star to represent communism. This theory has been debunked by numerous different content creators, which is why we put it dead last on our list. If Mario is dressed in red to promote communism, then why isn't Luigi dressed in yellow instead of green and white? Also, the symbol on the flagpole isn't actually a peace sign, it's a skull to represent evil. The NES has limited graphical abilities, especially for such an early game like Super Mario Bros., so many smaller details did get lost in translation. Beyond those points, what's the one thing Mario collects? Coins, of course. What kind of communist propaganda would encourage the main character to acquire and hoard wealth? We don't think Joseph Stalin would approve, though he might like Mario's mustache. Next are theories that got a lot of problems. Not enough to say they're completely debunked, but still, these theories are full of holes. Super Mario Bros. 3 is full of satanic imagery. Longtime veterans of the YouTube gaming community are probably aware of this, as it was first brought to attention by the Angry Video Game Nerd in one of his most renowned episodes, where he reviewed Super Mario Bros. 3. In the video, he goes on to talk about the satanic undertones he found, including how World 8 resembles hell, the inclusion of inverted crosses, and the 7 Koopalings representing the 7 deadly sins. While the AVGN included these references for comedic relief, this is the internet, so of course people looked into it more than they probably should have. The only reason we aren't putting this in the BS section is because the nerd put a lot of time and effort into expanding on this theory, as ridiculous as it is. For that, we gotta say, it at least makes more sense than communist propaganda, for whatever that's worth. Dr. Mario is not actually Mario. We all know Mario as a plumber, but he's performed several jobs over the years, which you can find out about in our Mario Jobs Worst to Best video. This series suggests that Mario's recurring stint as a doctor is in fact being performed by an imposter. Many people have come to this conclusion based on Dr. Mario's role in the Super Smash Bros. Series. Dr. Mario has a separate character slot from Mario, which in itself isn't that abnormal. Samus and Zero Suit Samus are different character slots in later games, despite being the same character, and you can have a bunch of the same characters fight each other anyway, so who cares? What people really take issue with is how Dr. Mario is heavier and stronger than Mario for no reason. In interviews, Miyamoto has said that there could be a third Mario brother. So, is Dr. Mario that brother? Personally, we think this theory is bogus for a few reasons. Dr. Mario's added weight could be attributed to something under his lab coat we can't see, and his extra strength could easily come from him eating vitamins. The only way which we can call Dr. Mario an imposter is lacking any sort of proper medical training. Based on Dr. Mario World though, it's easy for anyone to claim the title of doctor in the Mushroom Kingdom. Even if a third Mario brother does pop up in later games, we're willing to bet that Dr. Mario won't be him. We're now into the middle category, where we may stumble onto some truth. Maybe. These theories are possible. The Mario universe is a drug hallucination. Even if you never heard this theory, it may come as no surprise that people have linked the landscape of the Mushroom Kingdom to psychedelic substances. Mario sees everything as mushrooms. Allies, enemies, power-ups, even life itself is represented by green mushrooms in his eyes. Believe it or not, as infamously taboo as drugs are in Japan, psilocybin mushrooms were actually legal in the country until 2002. So it's possible that inspiration was taken from magic shrooms for this series. I mean, if we can see Bowser and Peach getting drunk off champagne in the Japanese version of Super Mario Kart, it's reasonable to believe Mario and friends were experimenting with other legal substances at the time. We're putting this theory in the middle category because there is definite evidence to point to, but we think it's a bit of a stretch. It's easy to look at any trippy fantasy setting and link it to drug use, But we highly doubt the people over at Nintendo would base the concept of their most popular series on something as controversial as a prolonged drug trip. It is a funny and interesting perspective though. The Mario universe features a galaxy with demons. We talked about the unlikely nature of Super Mario Bros. 3 featuring satanic symbolism, but Super Mario Galaxy 2 is another story. While it may not be littered throughout the game, the Shiververn Galaxy does contain 3 mysterious figures who have been linked to hell itself. The 3 figures are called the Shadow People by fans, and they creepily loom over the horizon watching Mario from afar. The figures somewhat resemble ghosts or aliens with round hollow eyes and featureless figures. What adds to the theory that the Shadow People are demons are the texture names within the games. The figures are found under the title Hell Valley Skytree within the file name Beyond Hell Valley. Hell Valley, unsurprisingly, is not the name of any location within the game, so what other explanation is there other than these figures arrived from the underworld? Some people have theorized that the name Hell Valley is in reference to a Japanese national park with hot springs, with the Shadow People referencing tree spirits known as Kadama. This would make sense to us given the reference to a tree in the file name, but we don't have enough conclusive evidence to make a matter-of-fact judgment. The next conspiracies make a lot of sense. In fact, we think they're more likely to be true than not. These theories are probable. Mario and Jumpman are different people. In the original Donkey Kong arcade game, Mario was initially a carpenter named Jumpman, before the executives at Nintendo made the choice to rename him based on their landlord. Seems straightforward, but the real conspiracy here originates from the continuity of the Donkey Kong series. Starting with Donkey Kong Country, we find out that the Donkey Kong who appeared in the arcade game eventually turned out to be Cranky Kong, while the titular Donkey Kong from the Country series is the grandson of that initial Donkey Kong. That would be fine, except the younger Donkey Kong, along with Diddy and other country characters, have appeared in various Mario spin-off titles since then. How is this possible? Excluding time travel, many have theorized that Jumpman is actually Mario's grandfather. This would make sense, given the character's different designs, names, occupations, and timeline inconsistencies. A lot of people have pointed out Pauline as the one factor that debunks this theory. We'd like to remind those people that Pauline was originally called Lady, and had a much different design from her current one, so it's possible that was a different character also. We won't pretend this is an airtight theory, but we definitely think there is plenty of reason to accept this as truth. The coins have souls. Many people are aware of the original Super Mario Bros. Manual, which states that Bowser has turned the Mushroom People into bricks scattered throughout the land. The dark implication of this is that Mario and Luigi are breaking bricks throughout the course of the entire journey, ostensibly killing the transformed Mushroom People in the process. As macabre as that is, some people have gone even further by linking the souls of the Mushroom People to the coins found inside the bricks. This theory seems to have a strong foundation when looking at the original manual. There's also evidence to suggest that this does make sense. Many inanimate objects in Mario games do have faces, such as the hills, clouds, items, and so forth, so it's not totally inconceivable to think that they have souls along with the coins. It would also explain why coins float in the air if they're actually lost souls separated from their bodies. Since this theory is backed up with some evidence from the instruction manual, we'd actually describe it as pretty likely. There are some messed up implications. If it is true, Mario and friends are collecting souls to harvest them for extra lives. It also means Wario is basically Satan, given how much he likes to collect these souls for himself. Alright, I think we've talked enough about demons for one day, so let's go to the final category. Finally, we've reached the truth. Confirmed truth. People have blown the whistle on these theories with such compelling evidence that it must be true, or a creator confirmed it. These theories are the truth bombs. The entire Super Mario series is a stage play. This is a theory that stems from Super Mario Bros. 3. That game in particular has a lot of evidence to suggest that the entire story that unfolded was merely an act. This includes the opening, where the title screen is introduced by raising a red curtain, the black shadows behind floating blocks that suggest the background isn't really the sky, and how each level ends with a cut to a black background, almost as though Mario and Luigi exit the set. Miyamoto confirmed that Super Mario Bros. 3 is a play, so we definitely think this counts as a truth bomb. That said, some fans have gone the extra mile and interpreted the entire events of the Mario series to be different plays with the characters being actors. While it hasn't been confirmed, we think this theory has a lot of merit to it when we really break it down. Why is Peach portrayed as a helpless damsel in some games and an independent fighter in others? Why is Luigi cowardly in some situations and completely unflinching in others? Why would Mario and Bowser put their differences aside to go kart racing or play tennis? The answer is that these are actors playing roles given to them. This theory does go far in explaining some of the more inconsistent elements of Mario games. I guess the truth really is stranger than fiction. The stories of the games are actually propaganda created by Princess Peach. Let's bring this video full circle and end things by talking about propaganda once again, this time in a scenario that seems much more likely. We established in our previous entry that the Mario games are likely plays performed by actors. Personally, we believe the person helming these plays is none other than Princess Peach, who's using them as propaganda for her own monarchy. It may sound far-fetched, but really, hear us out on this. First, the big theme of the plays is that Peach is always victimizing herself, while portraying the Koopa army as tyrants, who will stop at nothing to kidnap her. This does sound like a plot for a propaganda film that aims to portray the opposing side as pure evil. We also aren't really given clear motivations as to why Bowser wants to kidnap Peach, which further raises the potential of this being a smear campaign. Second, the characterizations of everyone within the Mario universe is shallow at best, as is the case with many propaganda films trying to make a point. Peach is portrayed as cute, innocent, and virtually flawless, which does make it seem like she wrote a caricature of herself with no flaws. Depending on the game, Bowser is often portrayed as ruthless, selfish, and abusive, which is likely an assassination of his character. All of Peach's followers are portrayed with the same one-dimensional good qualities, while members of Bowser's army are given the same basic negative qualities. Also, many have pointed out how if you look between the lines, Bowser is nowhere near as evil as he's often made out to be. I mean, we literally have a video on 1UP Binge about why Bowser is actually a good guy. Really makes you think if we've actually been fed a mountain of lies by this duplicitous princess that have led us to make poor judgment calls. If anything, we'd say Bowser is being a bigger man by not writing any plays that make her look bad. Alright guys, that's it. What about you? Have you heard any crazy Super Mario theories? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you need a 1UP, be sure to hit that notification bell and binge our other Nintendo videos. Thanks for watching.